Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick, the Metal Nerd, back for another episode of the Metal Nerd Podcast. How's it going, guys? It's been a while since I've been on. Yeah, just gotta take a break, a lot of stuff going on, so I hadn't really had a chance to really try to make an episode. So today, we'll do a little update on some of the things we might have missed, and then we'll get into the Metal Nerd radio show aspect of the podcast. It's something I just want to include regularly. We just jam out. I think everyone enjoys just kind of listening to music, enjoying some of the new hits that are out. So, kind of like to keep that going. But we'll start off the show with a little update for some of the things that have been going on. I figure I could kind of keep it like a fuse type thing, like they talk about some stuff and then um, watch some videos, Maybe more like on Steven's Untitled Rock Show, maybe kind of vibes. It's a little bit more chill. But just so you know, the Metal Nerd radio show aspect of the show is only available on Spotify because they're cool enough to let me do it. So those of you that are watching this on YouTube, they're watching the YouTube cut, subscribe to my Spotify, the Metal Nerd Podcast, and can jam out together. Otherwise, we will start off with some of the latest happenings, some of the latest things that have gone on. Let me see. Oh yeah, so apparently Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium are doing a tour in the UK, doing the 20th anniversary tour. Once more I'll say goodbye to Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, they posted, we honestly can't believe it's been 20 years since the release of The Poison, and what incredible 20 years it's been. And then the pre-sale, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, it's a classic album now, essentially, which is crazy. I mean, in terms of just, I guess, Trivium, the Ascendancy, and it's called the Poison Ascendancy Tour. So lucky for the people in the UK, of course, it's where Bullet for My Valentine is from, and of course, it's where all the good tours are. But hopefully, we'll see it stateside. Hopefully they'll decide to do that. Let me see, 2025. It's crazy. So next year, so they're still gunning it up to get that going. Um, but yeah, so we'll kind of talk about them. They kind of give a little comment on it.
And we're like, what is this? And then from there, from that show on, things kept growing. They played the London Garage show. They were upgraded from the tent stage to the main we played. I felt like it kind of rounded everything out. What's going to be great, like I said a second ago, is that the people that got to experience this will be there, but then they'll be there with their kids. And we just did this last run. I remember seeing at the Stoke show specifically, I saw three generations. I saw a man in his 60s with his kid in his 30s, with his kid who was 12, 13 years old, all wearing Trivium shirts. I'm like, this is what this is all about. And I know.
Yeah, that is kind of how it is. Like, I think, like, just in terms of just being, like, classic metalcore, but yet pretty popular. Because I think, definitely around that time, whenever they're coming out, I remember, a fair amount of people listen to them that weren't necessarily your casual metalheads. So yeah, they're pretty popular, pretty out there. But yeah, so I mean, I'm definitely seeing that too, as far as it being part of the new generation. Because my sister-in-law is getting into all the same type of music that we were at our age. So yeah, I'm definitely still seeing Bullet for My Valentine being live and alive. as well as for Trivium as well. So yeah.
That those kinds of legions of fans will be coming out for our two bands because it happened at the same time. And as we were making content together in Orlando, we're pulling out these magazines. Every magazine that had Bullet on the cover, Trivium was the main feature. Or if Trivium was on the cover, Bullet was the main feature. And it's something we talked about for years, like, hey, let's tour, but it wasn't concrete. But the fact that we're going to hit this, two bands having a 20-year anniversary of their fan favorite records, is going to be something just you can't. I feel like you can't plan a better thing like this. There's no better match that we could think of on the planet than Trivium and Bullet. Really, like if we try to rack our brains of any band, it would make sense. This is what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. You really, really have. Absolutely. And then with the Poison, I mean, your debut's always going to be a special place in your heart, isn't it? It really, really is. But again, it took off so quickly. There's songs on that record that will absolutely never leave the set list, and they never should because they're classics, right? Again, it's got to be nice to celebrate that moment, but also see how far you've come, I guess, as well. You guys have really changed and developed over that time. It's got to be nice to be able to go back to the very beginning like this.
Yeah, you know, it's a moment in time that the band will never forget. It's a record that, you know, shaped a generation of musicians and metalheads after it. You know, it was a huge album. You know, and for a band to release a debut and it take off like it did, it's pretty wild. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, as far as that debut album, The Poison, I mean, honestly, I don't know if they really did any better than that, you know? So certain bands, you know, just their first album pops off so hard. Always kind of, you know, relate this to, like, Upon a Burning Body. I liked their first album so much, I'm not sure I really liked anything after it. I don't really feel that way about Bullet. You know, their latest album, their stuff is still pretty good, but it's just different, you know.
That doesn't happen for lots. Sometimes it can happen on a second, third, fourth, fifth album, whatever, for bands. But you know, to do it on your debut is like pretty wild, man. Yeah. You know, we just rode that wave, and yeah, we just want to give the fans that opportunity to celebrate with us. And like Matt said, you know, there's people that are going to come to these shows that weren't even born when it was released. You know what I mean? That's wild. So for them to come and experience what it kind of was like 20 years ago, and the Poison was, you know, doing its thing, and it was kind of the center of attention of everything we did because that's the only music we had. It's great. You know, I'm just so proud of that record. I'm so proud of both bands for being around this long. You know, that in itself is a huge achievement. You know, being a band for
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think just it's being like a classic between Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium, just the classic metalcore that will stay alive, and I think you know, kids growing up will still experience that whenever they're getting to the age where they're getting into that type of music, you know.